Hello friends, welcome to our channel Innovative Techs. Today we are having with us Mr. Manish Chandak, who has cracked the interview in CITCO for the position of Financial Analyst. Now he will be sharing his total interview experience over here. So welcome over here and thank you very much Manish for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Costa, for inviting me, and apologies from my end to keep you waiting for so long.
No. It's such a great opportunity for me to talk with you and sharing your views to the aspirants. So
Thank you so
aspirants,
much.
please watch the full video and for getting a more insight and building your own strategy on behalf of this. So let's come to the main part of this video. So my first question to you, Manish.
Yeah.
So what are the rounds over there?
Costa, there were actually two rounds. One is the HR round. That is the first is the HR round, and final is the technical round, which was taken up by the process head. So
Okay,
there were
okay.
basically two rounds of interview.
Okay, so for those two rounds, how did you prepare yourself?
So if you talk about the preparation of the interview, so first of all, being a finance student, you need to be updated with all your topics that you covered in your classes. You need to be conceptually, you need to be clear enough, and you need to track down the market as well. So you need to know what is happening in the financial market and what are its impact. And being applying for the post of analyst, so you must be clear with the vision that you want to work for, because I am working for hedge funds. So you know the meaning of what should be the hedge fund is. So these were something basic tips that we had. So our faculty members were pretty good enough to prepare us for this hedge funds interview as well. So
Okay,
credit goes to them.
okay. So the preparation cannot be done in a single day or after floating the JD. Have to start your preparation from the day only.
Exactly. So means it's not that rocket science that you can't prepare it on a single day itself, but the most important thing is that only you can prepare it on a single day if your concepts are clear enough.
Yeah,
So it's not that rocket
great,
science. So you can prepare it on a single or a 2 days as well.
great. My next question to you: that how did you prepare your resume?
Okay. So the first and the most important thing while preparing your resume is that you need to be clear and crisp. You don't need to use that I am a team player or I am so patient enough and all. You just need to be exact that what does your resume wants you as a person. For example, I had an work in Wipro for about an year. So I just mentioned that I had a work experience over there and my job duties were this. And if you talk about your curriculum, you can mention your 10 and 12 and your graduations. And the most and the important thing is that in your resume, you must see that the interviewer is seeking to have a lot of questions in it, because if the interview doesn't seem to your resume to be very interesting, he won't ask you any questions about that. So the most and the important thing is that if you have any co-curricular activities and if you have performed any kind of uh, additional roles in your colleges and something like that, you need to put on this, and do not and make sure that you justify those words and you justify those work as well. It's not like that for the sake of putting it in your resume to give a weightage in your resume you just put it on. You must put that you must also clarify that yes, I have done this work and I am capable enough to do this work also. So this way you need to be very clear, and whatever you put in your resume, it's all about you. So you do not need to fake it in an interview, because if you fake it, the interview can grasp it in a couple of seconds. So he's a
Yeah,
champion, by the way.
absolutely. I agree with this, Manish.
Exactly. Exactly.
Great. So let's come to the PI part of the interview. The first round was the HR interview. So what was the first question?
Well, the first question which was asked by a HR is a normal question, means tell me something about yourself. So what you need to do in this is that you don't need to mention each and everything about yourself in your resume. You just mention your some of the normal things in your resume, and make sure that while telling about yourself, you add those points which is not there in the resume. So that is the uh, showstopper, which I can say, because whatever there is in your resume, the HR has already went through it. So for example, means like I love to write poems and I like to love to write and stuffs and all like that. Not mentioned in my resume that I am a writer as well, means I'm a part-time writer as well. But when I said it that in my free time I used to write books and all, so the HR was quite impressed, and So the next question, and the very next question was like, what are you writing? Tell me something about your experiences on writing as well. So the whole interview shifted to writing.
Yeah.
So what I learned from my first round of interview is that you are at the driving seat of your interview. So it's that you who need to drive the interview. If the HR is not interested at all, he won't let you go on the second round of interview. So the first and important thing is that you need to make sure that you are confident enough and you answer all the basic questions which an HR asks you. So that was basically the first question that the
Okay.
HR
So
asked.
aspirant you have to mention, you have to portray your answer in such a way that they are having some key points over in the from the first time, from the first question only. By the way, that you can drive your interview in such a way which is your core strength.
Exactly, because the moment you say that these are my strength and this is about myself, HR will going to pick up that word in that, and the HR will going to ask you the next question on the very same talent that you have. So it's not like that you mention that each and everything in your resume, and HR is going to ask you from your resume itself. It can be
Great,
prompt anywhere.
great. So from the next interview round, means technical round. So what was the first question?
Well, the technical round was taken by the department head. So, as a department head, I was first of all I was very much scared. Means what's going to happen because the department is going to take the interview. But as soon as I still remember, as soon as I entered the room, it was all like a friendly atmosphere that we have. He greeted me. So the very first question that he asked me is like, "Why do you want to work in CITCO?" Means,
Okay,
what do you know about CITCO and why do you want to work in CITCO? Why do you want to work with us? So in that question, what you need to do is that you need to frame your answer in such a way that you do not mean that all other jobs are not good as well. Your job is the best. It just mean that I want to work with CITCO because these are the JD and I'm fulfilled with that skills, so I can give you my skills to that. And the most important thing is that he asked me about various financial questions like what are hedge funds, what are transfer agencies, and many more. And the most important thing, you need to be updated with all the current scenarios that is going to happen, whether it's your financial domain or the economics or the world economics or the Indo-US China trade war. You need to be updated with all the current affairs that we have.
okay, great.
That this shows your confidence. Means this shows your confidence because an interviewer can ask you anything, whether it's from your domain or it's from your personal domain. So it can be anything.
Okay, so you are if you are having the something inside you, then you can find the confidence inside the interview hall.
Exactly.
Next question to you, that what was the last question in the technical round?
Well, I still remember the last question was a very what can I say? It was a very it was not a very serious question. It's like the interview just simply asked me that, are you ready to do a permanent night shift? So that was a very trick question because if you say no, that shows that you're not willing to work 24/7, and if you say yes, that means that you only work to build night shifts. So it does that you need to frame your answer promptly over there. Means like I am willing to work any shift which you want to give, but it's better that you need to say service no for that. You cannot say directly no to an interview like that. You need to be a service no. Like I just replied that I can work at any shifts, whether it's the morning, afternoon, the night, but I comfortably prefer the afternoon shift. So it was my answer, and the interview was quite
Actually,
impressed for this.
actually, he analyzed you that whether you were adaptable with any kind of
Exactly,
environment within the company
exactly,
itself or not.
exactly.
Right. So come to the last part of this webinar. But please mention three key advices to our aspirants.
What I would like to suggest to the aspirants, like you need to have a good knowledge of the domain because without that knowledge, the interviewer won't hire you because he has a lot of candidates for the interview. So you need to show that you have that X factor in you. The second thing which I would like to suggest is that you need to be updated with all the current affairs that is going all around the world because it shows that you are still learning, and it shows that you are still in the learning curve and ready to learn at all times. And the first and the last and the most important thing is that never to quit. So this attitude should be there in any other aspirants, whether it's a fresher or an experienced candidate. You should not leave your work. You should always be dedicated towards the work. So these three things which is required by in an interview to crack it. So if you have all these three things, the interview will definitely hire you and will give you the desired post which you want.
Great to know. Thank you, Manish, for sharing your views for the total of the interview process. And the
Thank
aspirants,
you.
yes, build your own strategy on behalf of this. And yes, for the 1:1 consultation, I'm mentioning his total the contact details, his mail ID and LinkedIn ID in the description box below to the video. Please go through that for the 1:1 consultation.
Okay, you can definitely contact me anytime. I'm free all the time.
Okay. Great to know. So yes, and another word, our experts have mentioned that yes, don't quit. Don't quit at any time and any point of time to fetch your dream. Thank you very much, Manish.
Thank you, Costa, for putting up a great show. Thank you. And congratulations on your YouTube channel.
Thank you very much.